Hey guys, what's up? Happy New Year, happy 2021. I cannot believe I'm sitting here and doing a YouTube video, but it's a new year, we're doing new things, so I'm actually really excited for this journey. This YouTube channel is not going to be super polished and put together and have the perfect lighting and have the perfect setup. You know, I swear, and I'm very chill, so it's going to be more like a hangout. So I hope you guys are ready for that. If you're not, super sorry. If you are, let's do this. We're gonna start off really simple and just do a very wearable, not really natural, kind of natural makeup look. I wanted to start off doing something that everyone could do, that everyone could follow along, a very wearable look. I'm not used to actually having my videos like have sound, so I gotta turn that off. But just something that is very wearable and easy to do, especially right now when we're not doing much. So we're just gonna start off simple and then work our way into crazier stuff as we go, okay? So this is the look that we're creating today. I hope you guys like it. I hope you learned something. Let me know what else you wanna see, because we're doing YouTube apparently now, so I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'm gonna go change into my Snuggie because I need to be comfy when I'm doing my makeup. I don't know about you guys, but it's the Snuggie for me, so let's just get into it. So I'm going for a natural look. We'll see how it actually turns out. But the first things first is your primer. I personally don't use a primer. You can use one. So I just washed my face. I have my moisturizer on, and we're gonna go right in with foundation. For foundation, I'm going to go in with the Rare Beauty foundation. I'm in the shade 190W. Actually, this isn't like my perfect shade, but it's the only one I have. So I'm going to go in with this. See, it's a little bit more yellow than I like. I usually like a more neutral color. You can use whatever foundation you want. If you want to go in with full coverage, that's totally fine. If you want to go in with a BB cream or something, that's totally fine as well. And then I'm taking my dampened sponge and I'm just going to blend this in. So this is dampened with warm water, and then I wring it out so there's not too much water in it. It just, I find, blends out the product a lot nicer, and it also leaves it a little bit more hydrated and dewy. So we're just gonna go in with tapping motions. We're not doing any swiping or wiping, none of that. You're gonna literally tap and press this into the skin so it like sinks and absorbs in and it looks more natural. All in all, I'm kind of like unsure about this foundation, but I wanted to try it on camera just to see what it looks like. If it looks like shit, my apologies. Make sure you get that double chin. So once you applied your foundation, we're going to go in with concealer. Now, if you have any spots that you want a little bit extra coverage, this is when we're going to do it. So you can go in with a BB cream and completely cover your face. And then if you have a specific red spot or a zit or a pimple, you can go in after and spot conceal. And that way you don't have to put, you know, tons of foundation on your face. You can just extra conceal that little tiny area, and this kind of keeps it from getting too cakey. So when you're spot concealing, you want to go in with a concealer that's similar to your foundation shade. If you go in with a lighter concealer, it's going to draw attention to that area because it's going to be brighter. So we're going to match our skin a little bit more, and I'm just going to apply it over any red spots that I have. Now you can tap this in with your finger or your sponge. I'm going to lightly tap it in with my sponge, which probably isn't as sanitary, but... So if you're tapping with your finger, you just want to lightly tap that so it gets on all sides of the mountain of your zit, and then it should kind of be completely gone after that. So next we're going to go in with concealer. My favorite is the ColourPop No Filter, but I'm out of the color that I'm using, so I'm going to go in with the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop, and you want this to be 1 to 2 shades lighter than your foundation shade. If you're going for more of a natural look, you can do just 1 shade lighter, but if you want it to be like that brighter look, you're going to want to do like probably 2 shades lighter. So we're just going to apply a little bit to the center here, and then we're going to kind of drag it up on the side. So this is going to give you the coverage that you need, but it's not going to give too much extra product in the cheek area where there's a lot of pores. So this kind of like shapes your eye, pulls it up a little bit, and then it keeps this area with minimal product, so you're not left with, again, a really cakey face, which is totally fine if you're into that. I'm into that sometimes. So we're just gonna go in with our same sponge and tap that in. I'm gonna take this all the way across my eyelid. I don't use an eye primer. I always just use concealer. I'm also going to apply that to this Cupid's bow, the chin, a little bit on the forehead, and down the bridge of the nose. So just kind of lightly in the center of the face. If you do have more redness around your nose, you can add that there. I like to add it sometimes right here because I do get darkness on the two sides of my mouth. So next we're just going to lightly set that with a powder. I'm using the Revolution coconut powder. You can use the RCMA translucent powder, the Laura Mercier, pretty much any loose powder or translucent powder will do. Now I don't set my entire face because I do want that like natural glow to come through, and I find that my foundation doesn't move around very much. If you do need to set it, totally do that. You can set your whole face just very, very lightly with a powdered foundation or a setting powder. So next I'm going in with a bronzer. This is the MAC Give Me Sun, one of my favorite bronzers. And I'm just gonna go in and warm up the skin. So as you can see, I have a very, very light hand on my brush. I'm not going in like, yeah, like that. I just have a light hand and I'm lightly swirling that onto my cheekbones. You don't have to be as precise with this because we're just warming up the skin. We're not actually contouring or anything yet. So this should be a more warm tone shade, more orange undertone. It can have a little bit of a shimmery effect to it to mimic the kind of like sun glow. So we're gonna apply that all over our forehead, just on the edges here. If you have a bigger forehead, you're probably going to want to contour and bronze a little bit more. If you have a smaller forehead, you might want to leave that area, just really, really keep it on the outer corners there. So we're kind of doing the whole outer diameter of the face, and then we're going to go down the neck as well. You kind of want to start at the top of the ear and then work down and up. And you can just see the difference between these two sides. So when you are done with your bronzing stage, then we're gonna go in and contour. So we're gonna actually like hollow out those cheekbones a little bit more, make them really sharp and intense. So I'm going in with the Shade and Light palette. I usually use these two shades mixed together, obviously. They are more cool tone and you don't want any shimmer in these. You want them to be completely matte because you're mimicking a shadow. You wanna really chisel out those cheekbones. So I'm going in with a smaller, more defined brush, so I can be more precise with where this product is going. I'm starting at the top of the ear. I'm gonna do small circular motions. So we're starting up here. You can kind of see or feel where that bone starts, and you wanna work in small circular motions, blending upwards, and then blending in once you have less product on your brush. You can go in under the jawline as well to kind of help chisel that out, to get rid of some of those double chins. And then going in with a smaller brush, this could be an eyeshadow brush, I'm just going to lightly contour the nose. So we're taking that contouring shade again, and we're just creating the appearance of a smaller nose. Bring it right into that eyebrow area. If you want the appearance of a bigger bottom lip, you can also contour a little bit underneath of there. And it gives the appearance of a poutier bottom lip. So next I'm just going to take a little bit of powder on my sponge again, the same powder, the same sponge, and I'm going to take that and lightly carve out underneath my contour. So if you happen to go down too far, if things were kind of messy, this just cleans it up and sharpens everything up underneath. So you can kind of aim for like the side of your mouth. Oh, that was a lot. It's all over my Snuggie. You don't want to go in with this much. I accidentally just grabbed way too much. And I'm gonna go down the side of my nose briefly as well. So I'm just going in and wiping it away with a clean brush. And you'll just see how much like cleaner and more sharp this under area looks. So we're almost done with the skin. We're gonna go in with blush next. I'm just using a little ColourPop blush that looks like this. I'm really into coral blushes. This one has a little bit of a shimmer, so it leaves the skin with a nice glow and it leaves the cheeks with a nice finish. So I'm just gonna add that to the apples of my cheeks. I'm just gonna kind of put it on the tip of my nose and lightly kind of where my bronzer was on my temples as well. And this just kind of gives like a rosy effect. Next, we're going to go in and highlight, give us that glow. And I'm using the Anastasia Glow Kit. I believe it's discontinued, but I'm almost out and I'm really sad about it. So I'm just going in with this. Use whatever highlight you have, your favorite highlighter. And we're just going to work that on the tops of our cheekbones, the highest points. And then you can kind of blend it out once you have less product on your brush. I like to go a little bit on the cheeks as well. So like, you know, when you smile, you got the glow. We go above the brow. Cupid's bow. I go a little bit on the chin. If you have a really textured chin, you might want to skip out on that area. But we can just go in with this pretty messily. Again, I don't even know if that's a word, but then I'm just going to go in and add a little bit of that to the tip of my nose and also just down the bridge up here. And our skin is done, so we're just going to set it. You can use any setting spray. I'm going to use the NYX Dewy Finish setting spray because this is my all-time favorite. Another one that I'm really liking is this guy, the Revolution Hydrate and Fix Radiance Makeup Setting Spray. Really like it, but we're going to go in with the NYX just because it's my go-to. If you're not into the dew, they also do have a matte version and a radiant finish one, so you can definitely use whatever you like. I just personally like the glow that this gives. So I'm not going to go super in-depth with my brows because I'll just probably do a more in-depth brow tutorial, but I'm just going to lightly fill them in with the Brow Luxe pencil in the shade Coffee. Put a little bit of brow gel in them to fluff them up, and then we'll be good. So I'm just going to skip through the brows. Okay, so we're back. The brows are looking big and fluffy, which is exactly what I want. And we're going to move on to the eyes. This is going to be super, super simple. So you're just going to take your favorite blending brush. Any blending brush will do. And we're going to go in with our contour or bronzing shade, and we're going to work that into the crease. So we're not using even any eyeshadow, so this is going to be super good if you're like traveling, if you're going anywhere, if you have minimal makeup, minimal time. You're just using the exact same products that we used on the face in the eyes as well. And we're just going to blend it and work it into our crease, and we're going to blend it up. So you want most of that product to be in the crease, and then once you have less product, that's when you can start blending up. We're not doing windshield wiper motions, we're doing small circular motions. So just make sure that's all blended out. We're also going to take that underneath the eye as well. So you can go in with a little bit of a smaller brush if you have. If not, you're just going to have to be a little bit more careful. You want that to mainly be on the lash line, and then you can blend it out from there. You don't want too much product too low. So once you're all blended out, we're going to take our highlighter again. So we're using the exact same highlighter that we used on our face. We're going to take that on our finger, apply it onto our lid. So using your finger, you're going to get the most pigment possible, but I do always like to take a brush and kind of just buff out the edges a little bit so we're not left with any harsh lines. We're going to also take that in the inner portion of the eye here to brighten things up a little bit. So I'm going to take a nude pencil in the waterline just to brighten up the eyes a little bit. So this is the MAC Chromographic Pencil in NC15 NW20. So I'm just going to take that in my waterline, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but it really brightens up the eye, makes it look bigger and more awake. So this next step is totally optional. You could just add mascara, add lashes if you want, and you'd be good to go. I'm gonna go one step further just for anyone who wants to, because this is one of my favorite things to do with makeup right now. So you can take any pencil that you have. Personally, I go with browns, but if you want to go with the black, you can do that as well. And we're just gonna take that and work it on the outer portion of our lid. So you want this to be super nice and tight to the lash line. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to be blending it out. So we're pretty much just doing this on the outer half. We're not doing anything in the inner portion. So this will just kind of deepen up that lash line, make it a little bit more intense, but we are going to wing it out to give a little bit of a cat eye effect as well. So again, this doesn't have to be perfect or precise. We just want to make sure that it's super nice and tight to the lash line. Brown will be a softer look and black will be a little bit more harsh and intense, but totally up to you what you prefer. Next, you're going to take a little tiny brush and a little bit of brown eyeshadow, or maybe your contouring shade, or a black eyeshadow, whatever you prefer. I'm going in with a brown matte eyeshadow, and I'm just tapping that over top of what we just placed down. And then I'm going to start to work my way up a little bit to kind of soften and blend out the edges. So we're essentially making a smoked out lash line, but only in that outer corner. We can leave it like this, but I am going to slightly wing it out a little bit as well. So I'm kind of just dragging it in the exact same shape that I would if I was using a wing liner, and just using the eyeshadow, it's still going to pull and elongate that eye, just in a very soft way. So I don't know if you guys can see, it kind of just pulls my eye up a tiny bit, and it just is such a soft effect that is so pretty. Lastly, I'm just going to go in with that bronzer again that we worked all over the eye originally, and I'm just going to kind of buff this all out. Very, very messy. You don't have to be super precise with this, but that's literally all we're going to do. So lastly, for the eyes, I'm just going to curl my lashes. I'm using the Morphe Lash Curler. This is my first time using it. Honestly, I never thought that you could have like a good lash curler, but this is like really awesome. Then I'm also going in with the Morphe Make It Big Mascara. It's a volumizing mascara. I used it on this eye. I honestly really like it. I'm not a huge fan of most mascaras, but I like it because it kind of like separates my lashes more. So it's a win for me. And my lashes never want to cooperate, but I actually really enjoy this mascara. So I put that on the bottom lashes as well, just because I always like to add bottom mascara. I'll always take a clean spoolie and just go and brush them out, because I hate how chunky they can look. So I'll just go with the clean spoolie and kind of brush them out. You're totally good to go like this. If you wanted to add lashes, you could totally do that. I might do it after just to show you guys the difference, but for now I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to do my lips, and then we're done. You can apply any lipstick, any lip tint, any lip gloss that you want. I'm just going to do my go-to nude, which is the ColourPop lip pencil in BFF. There's literally nothing left. I have to sharpen it, but I can't find my sharpener, so I'm literally just like scraping my skin. For lipstick, I just go in with the ColourPop, what shade is this? Dream Date Cream Lippy Pencil, Lippy Stick. It's such a pretty like nude, brownie nude, peachy brown nude. I really like it, and then I'll add a little bit of MAC Myth to the center just for that ombre effect. This is, again, totally extra steps. You could just do lip gloss. I'm going to go in with my NYX Fortune Cookie Butter Gloss. This is like my favorite nude gloss. It's so pretty. So that is the completed look. I am going to show you guys what it looks like with a smaller pair of lashes, just in case you want to add that extra oomph, but you can definitely leave it like this as well. So this is the completed look with a pair of lashes added. These are super light natural lashes. These are the Ardell Demi Wispies. They're really pretty. They just give a little bit of an oomph in the outer corner, as you can see. So they are very, very wearable and awesome for beginners because the band is really, really tiny and easy to bend. So it's very easy to apply. So you can go with or without lashes. I just wanted to let you guys know what just adding a little pair of lashes can do for your look. If you wanted to add a bigger pair, this could easily be a night out look. But yeah, I'm obsessed with it, and I hope you guys are too. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you get to try this out at home. If you do, let me know what you think. Let me know if you liked any of these tips or tricks and what you would like to see from me next. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys. That was so awkward. I was trying to do a peace sign, but ended up kind of waving, so bye, guys.